Our brains are wired to find logic in the world. We like things that make sense. But what happens when logic itself breaks? From infinite hotels to time-traveling murderers. Today we're exploring 10 paradoxes that prove the universe is much weirder than you think. Imagine a hotel with an infinite number of rooms and every single room is full. One night, a new guest arrives. Usually, you'd say there's no room, right? But because the hotel is infinite, the manager simply asks every guest to move one room over. Guest 1 moves to room 2. Guest 2 to room 3. And so on. Suddenly, room 1 is empty. Even though the hotel was full, it can always accommodate more guests. In the world of infinity, the math doesn't just change. It breaks. Suppose you have a wooden ship. Over time, the planks rot. One by one, you replace every single piece of wood with a new one. Once every original part has been replaced, is it still the same ship? And if you took all the old, rotten planks and built a second ship out of them, which one is the real Ship of Theseus? This paradox has haunted philosophers for 2,000 years. You build a time machine and go back to 1950. You find your grandfather and, for some reason, you decide to, well, end him before he ever meets your grandmother. But if your grandfather never has children, your father is never born. And if your father is never born, you are never born. But if you were never born, you could never have gone back in time to stop him in the first place. This is the ultimate logic loop. There are billions of stars in our galaxy that are billions of years older than our sun. High-tech civilizations should have evolved long ago. They've had plenty of time to colonize the entire galaxy. So, where is everybody? If the universe is teeming with life, why haven't we heard a single hello? This is the Fermi paradox. The contradiction between the high probability of alien life and the total lack of evidence. How many people do you need in a room to have a 50-50 chance that two of them share the exact same birthday? Most people guess 180. Some guess 70. The answer is just 23. With only 23 people, the odds of a match are actually 50.7%. Humans are notoriously bad at understanding exponential growth and probability. Look at this sentence. This statement is false. If the statement is true, then it must be false, because that's what it says. But if it's false, then what it says is actually true. It is a logical knot that can never be untied. We think that more options make us happier, but psychological studies show the opposite. When we have too many choices, we experience analysis paralysis and feel less satisfied with whatever we eventually pick. Sometimes, the most freedom comes from having the fewest options. This one is going to hurt. On average, your friends have more friends than you do. This isn't because you're unpopular. It's a mathematical certainty. Popular people are, by definition, in more friend groups. Therefore, they are more likely to be one of your friends, which skews the average for everyone. Imagine a heap of sand. If you remove one single grain, is it still a heap? Yes. If you keep removing grains, at what exact point does it stop being a heap? 10 grains? 3? 1? There is no logical line. Our language uses vague terms for a world that requires precision. Imagine a time traveler goes back in time and gives a young William Shakespeare a copy of Romeo and Juliet. Shakespeare then publishes the play under his own name. Years later, the book is printed. The time traveler buys it and takes it back to the past to give it to Shakespeare. The play was never written. It just exists in a loop. Where did the information actually come from? The universe doesn't always care if it makes sense to us. These paradoxes are the cracks in our understanding of reality. Which of these broke your brain the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more mind-bending content, you know what to do. Subscribe. hit the bell, and we'll see you in the future or the past.